9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Liftoff.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Roger, Tower.
Take 2.
Ready, you go. Luis Elizondos made headlines in 2017 when he resigned as a senior intelligence official running a shadowy Pentagon program investigating UFOs and publicly denounced the excessive secrecy and lack of resources and internal opposition that he said were thwarting the effort. Elizondos' disclosures at the time created a sensation. They were buttressed by explosive videos and testimony by Navy pilots who had countered an unexplained aerial phenomena and led to congressional inquiries, legislation, and a 2023 House hearing in which a former U.S. intelligence official testified that the federal government had retrieved crashed objects of non-human origin. Welcome to the Alien Pro Podcast. It's Saturday, September 7th, 2024. I'm Doug. Joining me today is Matt, MUFON Matt, and Alysse. Again, second time.
That's
Not
right.
your first. This isn't your first time.
Yep.
You know, so
Yeah.
good. Thank you guys for joining. We're going to talk about Imminent. I know you guys you've seen the book. Matt is the only one here who's actually made it through the whole thing. I've heard, lots of people talking about it and what they had to say and their opinions and
Right.
What do you think? What was your?
It was a good book. It's definitely worth buying. Like I was almost gonna blow up before. It is, if you follow it, the UFO everything. It's not any big surprises, but there is a few little surprises, kind of on his personal level. There's a few other incidences in there that he kind of talks about. I think more so whatever I'm hearing from everybody else is that he's kind of affirming like Roswell. He's affirming what's the one where the people were attacked? I can't remember the name. I remember the name.
Which one?
Well, there was the one in Kentucky where they were.
No, this is the one where people were attacked. It starts with a C. Can't wherever. It's in a foreign country and people were actually attacked by these UFOs.
Oh, that was the was like
That
Columbia
one.
down that way.
Yes, yeah, that one. That's like the first one he talks about, and I had read about that before, but his take on it and him talking to the general of that place, and again, he just kind of affirms that the ones that we've all heard before in the past history, that there there's some validity to it. So it's a great book though. I liked it.
Well, I heard he talked about orbs, and I never knew this about orbs, but the blue orbs are bad.
Yes, I have heard that before. The one he talked about.
What is bad about the blue orb?
I don't know. Some lady was driving, I think, or a guy was driving, and the blue orb entered her car, went through something in her body, and then she had like cancer, basically. She got sick. I've read that in a few different books about the blue orbs being bad. Orange, yellow, white were fine, but the blue orbs had some kind of like something bad to them.
So that's a CIA orb, apparently. That they shoot
Spy orb.
bad things in there.
Yes, probably. Yes. I'm just going to say yes because...
Well, and he said that orbs actually followed him home.
Yes, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so he covers a lot of things he's never said before.
Yeah.
And I know it kind of blew people's minds. Like, he's never talked about that before.
And his wife, I saw his interview with his
wife.
wife, and his wife talked about it too.
Yeah.
And she had witnessed the orbs, which it was like, oh, really, Lou? Orbs in your house?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean...
It's a good book. I definitely... And you're going to read it, right?
Yeah, you just gave it to me today, so I'll read it.
And then you're halfway through it, right? Over your...
Yeah, I'm about 10 pages in.
Yeah, I only read it really fast because of
Yeah, you're right.
audiobooks.
10 pages in.
10 pages
Yeah.
in.
Audiobooks, that's why I went through it really fast. Which helps because I would have taken me all freaking day. And it's easy reading, actually. It's really simple. It's not like,
Was there anything else in there that he mentioned that,
surprised you?
That kind of surprised you? Or
Not really. There's a few little ones, like maybe instances that I had not really heard of before. And the ones with his personal family. It was great to hear about his father and how coming from Cuba, he tells the whole story about the
Immigration.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. So it's really it's more personal about him than I like the book more than anything.
Yeah.
Less about the UFO and his his development.
It's his story,
It
basically.
is. And he is a key figure in the story. So, in the whole UFO picture, leading up to now. So, and then the forward's really good because it's the guy, Christopher Mellon. That's a great intro into that. That could almost be a mini book, what he writes in that first part. So, highly recommend it. I give it 4 stars.
4 stars out of all the books you've read? He has a lot of books. In fact, I have his books.
He has all my books
downstairs.
Hostage.
Underneath the...
I gotta work them all.
Underneath the stairs.
Underneath the stairs.
The hidden library.
When you need more books, you just run down.
You guys haven't seen my house. I've got 3 bookshelves all full of books.
Really?
Mostly on paranormal topics and things.
Nice.
Have you had any paranormal experiences? Or?
Lots of paranormal too. Well, more like on the ESP side, like a lot of precognition. I've had a lot of that and telepathy over the years. So I've had some strange things happen.
Out of body.
Out of body when I was younger has not happened as an adult.
Right.
But we had talked about briefly in some text messages about remote viewing, which is something I would like to look into a little bit more. I think you were really into it, right?
Book. Yeah. There's a book that, and in fact, that's where when I finished the audiobook of that, I started looking up other audiobooks, and I found one on how to remote review it. Right? And I think I sent it to you guys, but yeah, they're like, you should learn and you should do it as a group, so you guys can kind of help each other. Like, hey, go to my bathroom and tell me what's in front of the, and you kind of develop and learn to each other, and you can do it from distance.
Well, it can be really complex. The government used, I don't remember the guy's name. There's a certain person.
Yeah, I've seen him on the documentary.
They talk about him.
What is
Swan.
He was like their main remote viewer.
He's the one that they gave him. There was an envelope.
Something Swan.
And he says, "I want you to look." And this is 1,000,000 years ago in this location.
Yeah.
And they described Mars. He was actually remote viewed Mars. And they didn't open the envelope until the end to tell him. He described what he could see, and it was the Mars. The atmosphere was already sucked off Mars, like whatever happened, and it was the end of the people. And then it showed them later in the same viewing, apparently on Earth, but it was all volcanic. This is when we were in the era where, the volcanoes.
Ingalls Swan.
Ingalls Swan.
Yeah. That's the guy I think you're talking about. He worked for the CIA too.
Yeah, so
he's on the CIA.
And they showed it. He described what he could see. With plant life and everything. And so then at the end, they opened the envelope so they could see. And it's 1,000,000 years ago, and the coordinates were Mars.
Right.
We're on Mars.
Right.
It was bizarre.
Yeah.
And it can be really complex. I mean, the mind is.
They say that we only use like less than 20% of our brain.
Yeah.
So can you imagine?
Some of us a lot less.
You know how
That's true.
You know how they say.
We've all worked with people like that. I know people like that.
So they say remote viewing was an ancient thing that us humans did before we had written language and like drawings. We
the shamans and all that.
Right,
yeah.
They still do it. So we literally communicate with our minds with maybe hand signatures like, I don't like you anymore, or something like that. Sorry.
Yeah.
But that's it. They say, and this is millions of years ago. We knew how to, however long the human, not millions, but however long, we've been around it, we've been doing that before. So we're just getting back into like an ancient,
We're relearning the stuff that we used to know.
Yes.
That we've forgotten over the course of time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could say that, the extraterrestrials are like aliens. You know, that's how they communicate. They don't speak.
Right.
They say it's all telepathy.
It's all telepathy.
Right.
Well, they have those tiny little mouths, or some case they don't have mouths at all.
Right.
When you talk to the witnesses or what
they're not even moving.
Right.
They're just like mind speak. They're literally telling you, "Hey,
so really,
we're going to take you to ship, and you're not going to like this.
Or
you are going to like it anyway.
You're going to be probed. Sorry, pal.
You're gonna be probed.
I won't pay you after it. Sorry.
Probe. We can't get through an episode without talking about.
We cannot. Well, that is the name of the show.
So you haven't seen any UFOs or anything like that?
I've seen some strange things in the sky, and in my mind, I'm still trying to say, was it a helicopter? Like, I haven't seen any classic UFO shapes, but sometimes at night when I'm looking at the sky, I'll see a light and then it disappears. Like, in the middle of the sky, it's just gone. Like, a plane isn't going to just shut its lights off.
I have that too sometimes. It's just a light, a flash, or something, and I'm like, there's nothing up there. It's not stars or anything. And
A flash, that I attribute to just a dust and, meteors coming in, burning up in the atmosphere. That happens all the time. We're bombarded by particles all day, all night. But when you see lights and all of a sudden they disappear.
Right.
I'm like, did it turn around? But then you would see tail lights. You'd see lights on the wings.
Yep.
So I'm still trying to...
Yep. I've seen light. In fact, I was coming home from work down 113 from a Travis Air Base to Sacramento here, and it was bright. It got real bright. And then it just dimmed out, and I'm like, so I pulled over and I was waiting, like you
waiting
said,
for it to come back.
I was waiting to flash, or it turned, or something, and I could not see anything in that little area, and I just sat there and watched it for about 4 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I must look like an idiot. I'm leaving because it's not there anymore. So, well, yeah.
I always have a theory. I mean, why would a UFO? Why would they have lights?
They don't need lights, right?
Why would they have a light? I don't know.
That's what they're talking about. Those triangles. Why do they have lights? Maybe that's propulsion.
Are you guys doing the thing tonight?
The Star Watch?
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to go. I have a lot of things to do to get ready for my trip to Europe and just trying to catch up on things. And
world traveler.
World traveling.
I'm going to Portugal for 3 weeks. My mom wants to go back to the homeland before, while she's physically and mentally able to. She's 89.
Right.
Oh,
Last time she went, I think, was 2016, 2017 with my dad.
Right.
Last time I went was in 2010.
Oh, shit.
So I haven't been back in 14 years. So my cousins that were like this are now like grown, married, having kids.
Nice.
So we're going to be gone for 3 weeks. So I'm going to miss MUFON meeting next week. I'm going to miss it in October.
I'll write it
also,
down,
so.
everything that's happened for you.
Just record the whole thing.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't think that they're gonna let me record
We're
it.
gonna be light at our table. Maybe that other girl can sit in on your spot.
Oh God, no names, no names.
Are you trying to get us beat up? She's gonna kick our ass.
But anyway, I'm back to your question. I'm not gonna go tonight. I just figured, it's also hot.
I don't know if I'm going either.
And if I go, like, I feel like we need to be there until 1 a.m. And I'm like, no, if I stay, I'm leaving at 10:30.
I'm never gonna stay till 1 a.m.
No, me
No.
neither.
Did you do that when we went?
I did one time. I stayed until like 12:30 in the morning.
Right now it's bad because the mosquitoes are bad.
Exactly.
And I'm a giant pumpkin for mosquitoes. They're like, everybody move. That guy right there, we're all going to him, right? So I don't know if I'm going either. Yeah, they're going to be on me. They love
So
me.
I'm not going tonight.
Yeah,
You were
Vallejo,
considering.
so I won't be very good.
Yeah. If you guys are going, I'm not going.
I'm not.
No fun.
So what else? So you're paranormal. You got some paranormal. This show is everything weird. It's
Right,
Yeah,
everything
exactly.
weird.
Bigfoot?
Well, love Bigfoot.
Yeah.
He's
Have you
awesome.
seen him?
Have you seen? I've not seen Bigfoot. Have you seen the show
Expedition
Bigfoot?
Yes, I've seen.
Don't you love Russell? He's got that little Bigfoot man attached to his backpack. I love it. I want that Bigfoot.
Yeah, I love anything paranormal, but
Any paranormal things I've experienced have all been revolving, ESP and ghost activity. I haven't seen Bigfoot or any other cryptids, but I
ghost
totally believe
activity?
there's cryptids out there for sure.
any really scary ones you can think of, or anything that comes
Not really scary,
just.
but interesting. I used to investigate with Capital City Paranormal,
Oh shit.
and this was probably back in 2015, 2016, 2014. And we did, quite a few local investigations. There was one that we went to where the leader of our team is a husband and wife couple, and she's psychic and he's descendant of Indian.
Right.
So they know things, they can feel things,
American
see things.
Indian?
American Indian, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Wyoming, Colorado, that area. And then we had another girl who was a psychic, and then the rest of us are just, like I was like the debunker type of thing.
Right.
But the husband and wife was still out in the car, and me and the two other gals were already in the house. We met the husband, he was sitting in the chair. The wife was over here.
Well, what location?
Yeah.
This was in Fair Oaks.
Was it like a house you guys
It was
were
a house.
investigating?
Investigating.
Have these
in
people?
Fair Oaks.
Does the residents say they have a ghost or what?
Yeah, they contacted us and they said, hey, we have all this activity happening in our house. this, that, and the other thing. Can you come check it out? So we did.
Do you have that machine, like EM machine? Or
Well, we have like EMF detectors, but we didn't have any ghost boxes or anything like that.
I have a spirit box EMF, the light one where you can see
leave
the
that
cold
here.
and
When
heat.
you go, just leave that.
I know
stuff
that we're not going to talk about this on here. We'll
No,
talk about
okay,
it
yeah,
later.
no, this is So
Anyway,
Continuing on.
so
So the other couple's still outside, and we were talking, and we were in the house literally not 2 minutes, and there was a break in the conversation, and all of a sudden we hear something like this. Like something was being dragged. So we all looked in the direction, and it was a remote control, like this, that was sitting on top of a speaker, because the guy was a musician, and there were speakers, and he had a guitar room and all
always
that.
with the musicians.
Right?
yeah, you guys are magnets for this stuff.
So the remote is on top of
For everything.
the speaker box, and it was sliding off like this.
Oh, right in front of your eyes?
And right in front of our eyes. It came completely off. It hovered, and then it went.
Oh.
And
wow.
we were like. And so then
All
the
of you
wife,
guys saw this.
Yes.
Who shit their pants
So-
first?
So the wife said, "This is the crap that happens to us all the time." So immediately, and I remember when it was happening, the husband was in my line of sight, and I'm like in my peripheral vision. I'm like watching the speaker and watching him, and she's over there, and I'm making sure that like there's no wires. As soon as it dropped, I ran over there and like there's no wire, there's no nothing. He was not. They were not moving their hands. It was very.
You weren't
cool.
afraid running over there? I mean, it didn't freak you out at all?
No, I thought it was cool.
Wow.
That's
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
I know. Who are you going to call?
Right? So, and then literally we're all standing around looking, and they're telling us, we get this kind of thing, psychokinesis, where things are moving around. Now,
Crazy.
they did have a young daughter. I don't remember. Maybe she was around 8, 9. She was not there that night. They didn't want to freak her out, so she was staying at a friend's house.
Right. Has she seen, she saw stuff too? Or?
Oh, yeah, they all
Everybody
experienced
has.
things.
Wow.
But they just didn't want her there while we were investigating in case
because
something
that makes
weird.
it makes it real now. Yeah.
Nothing else weird happened that night, but 2 minutes later, the couple walked in and were like, "You can't believe what you just missed."
And they missed it. They didn't see
missed
it. Nice.
They had no clue.
They're like, we've seen that before. It's all right. That's
But
crazy.
there was a couple spots in the house where they said, "Oh, we all feel really dizzy in here." That was pretty obvious because he had one of the extra bedrooms was his guitar room. He had like 8 guitars,
Musicians.
amplifiers. So I mean, the EMF in that room was off the charts.
sounds like
So
my
no
room.
wonder you feel dizzy in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So that was explainable. There was another place, a hallway, where they're like, "Oh, I feel off balance." Well, I didn't need to put down a marble or a ball and make it roll to see that it was crooked.
Oh.
That was the old part of the house,
Right.
not the new part of the
Yeah,
house.
right.
And so the transition, it was crooked.
Right.
So that was explainable. But the other stuff, like things moving on their own. So what both of our psychics got was that there was like a young boy, like 8 years old, just mischievous,
Right.
who was attached to the property somehow. And I don't remember if it was like from 50 years ago or 100 years ago. So he was still lingering. And there happens to, what they also caught was that there's water running under the house. And the owners were like, "How do you know that?" Because yes, there is a stream deep underneath
Yes.
going through their property.
Yeah.
They didn't tell us.
Oh, wow.
So they caught that, and of course water is a good conduit
That's what I was
for
going to say. It's a good conduit for spirits.
psychic,
Yeah,
exactly.
psychic stuff,
So
yeah.
the boy wasn't there to scare anyone. He was just, they got a daughter, they're like the same age, he
He
just
wants
wanted
to
to play, and
play,
he's being a mischievous boy.
Right.
So there was nothing to be afraid of. So they felt much better knowing it's not like we were going to try to get rid of it or do
Right.
something. They're just like, okay, he's just mischievous. So that was probably
That's cool.
the best experience I've had. There was another place we were in Sacramento somewhere going towards Elk Grove.
Okay.
I don't even remember where, probably Laguna area.
Right. Musicians?
No, not musicians. But actually, if you walk in their backyard, you're literally on the levee. I climbed up the hill,
Oh.
and you could look down on the property. I'm just kind of checking it out before the sun went down, just to
Right.
see if I felt
Felt anything, right, exactly.
which I didn't. I'm just like, oh, levee. So they're close to the water. We're walking around at night, and by the way, we don't go dark like they do on TV shows.
Oh, yeah, that's
we leave
so
the lights on,
ridiculous.
and we tell the people, you don't have to leave. We want you to stay because we want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And you don't know us. We're strangers. You're going to have
Right.
us walk around in your house.
You might have a better possibility of whatever's
Because
around
they're
them being
attached
there.
to
They
them.
could be attached.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they're attached to the people.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
So we were in different parts of the house. Everyone, we're just kind of walking around, feeling it out. And so I was with the wife. Actually, she didn't know I was behind her. I was in the kitchen, and I had walked around, and we were in like a room like this, a living room, family room. And she's walking around with a camera, just clicking, taking pictures. And all of a sudden, I don't know, because I was sort of behind her. She didn't know I was there. And we both kind of froze. And I remember, because she was in front of me, we both looked up, and there was, here's the front entrance, and the big cathedral ceiling, and there's a balcony up here and the steps that go up. We both somehow stopped and looked up, and a few seconds later, here comes an orb, a white orb, just comes down the hallway.
Like slowly just drifting.
Slowly drifting.
How big was it?
I'm going to say if I was looking at it, probably like that.
So like okay.
So I would say it was probably the size
like
of
a golf ball, maybe smaller.
No, bigger.
Bigger.
I'm just saying like that if I did that, but according to the pictures on the wall, it was probably smaller than a basketball. But bigger than a tennis ball.
Oh, shit.
And it was white.
Cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe.
Yeah, I like cantaloupe.
All right.
Honeydew?
So it kind of comes wafting down the hallway, and it didn't come straight. It kind of wobbled a little bit.
Right.
You know. And then it stopped, and I'm staring at it. She's staring at it. And all of a sudden, it was like she remembered she had the camera. She went like this and took a picture. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's good. She's going to get that on camera. And then I'm thinking, is it going to stay or is it going to go? And then it just kind of continued down the hall and then into the master bedroom, which we couldn't see at this point because it was behind the door. And after it disappeared, like we both, again, just kind of stood there for a few seconds, and she went, huh. And I said, I turned around and I said, did you see that orb? And she was kind of surprised because she didn't know I was behind her. Well, she didn't know that I was quiet. I was stealthy when I walked around. And she turned around like she was surprised, and she said, did you see that? I said, of course. Did you see that orb? She said, yes. I said, well, let's look at your camera. And I don't remember now. It's been a while. I mean, she did have it on film, but we both saw it. So these are the only two instances where we really saw anything. We've been in houses where we felt weird. We went to another place that was...
Wait, question. When it stopped, did you feel like it was like peering at you? Was it like, did you feel like any kind of communication involved?
I didn't feel like there was any communication. I just felt like it was checking us out.
It was checking you out.
Because everyone else was in the back room. There was no one upstairs. Everyone was in the other room on that side, downstairs. And this was up here, and me and her were here.
And you guys were close, personal. How far were you from it?
Well, I was where Doug is. That's where she was, and I was probably this far away and off to the side a little bit, and we're both facing the balcony, which is up there.
So about 10, 15 feet away from it?
I would say maybe probably closer. More like
20,
25, because it was on that end of the hall. It stopped, and then when it disappeared here, there's a wall here, so the balcony is only like that part of the house.
Okay.
I would have followed.
What color?
It was white.
White.
Well,
I didn't feel.
Blue.
Yeah, thank God.
I didn't feel anything. Yeah. I didn't feel like we were being stared at or there was no communication. But I just felt like it stopped. It's checking us out because we were checking it out, and then it went okay, and then it just went on its way. And normally, Normally, I pick up on stuff, and I felt.
And that's what
I felt nothing.
Because that you said
I felt
before.
nothing.
Okay, what was the other
We've
one?
been in other houses. There was one that we went to. It was out past Rockland and Loomis. I just remember we kept going on 65, so we were out that way somewhere. And it was a mom and dad, and there was a son. I can't remember now. Like I said, it's been a while, almost 10 years. I believe he was in his 20s. Like, I don't know if he was like college age or whatever, but somewhere in that realm. And they said they were experiencing activities and seeing shadows and things. And so what we normally do is we go, the main guy, I don't want to give any names or anything, but I went with him, and this was like the pre-interview. So you go and you check it out, and there's a whole list of questions to ask, and you check out the area, and then if we decide we're going to investigate, then we bring the team on a later date.
Right.
So I went with him for the pre-interview, and he doesn't tell his wife or anyone what happened. He doesn't want to predispose them to this is what's being experienced.
Right.
They go in blind.
That's good. Yes, they should go. They shouldn't be.
So I went with them, and the minute I walked in the house, I just had this feeling like something's not right. Like I didn't feel like it was paranormal. I just felt like someone in the house was creepy.
Oh, so dark, like a dark feel.
Well, put it this way: when we started, we sat down. I went through the whole thing because I was new. He said, "You ask the questions and everything." Asked the questions and all that, and then we said we're going to kind of walk through the house, and she said feel free. When we walked into the son's room, that's when we felt, okay, this isn't right. I mean, first of all, the room was black. Like painted black.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Very teenager, right? You know.
So yeah.
Very dark.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever painted my room black though.
That's just weird.
No, I don't think I've ever
My
painted
son
it.
painted his bathroom black.
Did he?
My adult son, yeah. And it's the house he owns. I go, dude, that is bizarre.
Still. Now.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's
he's,
okay.
he's thinking about renting it out. And
You're gonna have to
It's too
change that.
morbid.
You're gonna
Yeah.
have to paint that.
Yeah, you have to fix it.
It's gonna be hard to paint over that black.
Yeah. It is. That's true.
It's going to need a couple of
I'll
coats.
just tell them they can change it. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, you can do that.
So anyway, so you could just feel that there was something wrong in this. Something was off. I didn't feel negative per se, but
Okay.
I just had the distinct feeling that this young person was mentally disturbed.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say. I just felt
Right.
like there's something not right with him.
Right.
And that's exactly what my partner, the guy,
Felt.
was feeling also.
Right.
So we walked around, we got some more information, got the feel. That was the only room that felt weird.
Right.
But I don't know, and just talking to them, we're just kind of like, I just had this whole feeling. And when I was interviewing the mother, she started talking about how, she's on meds for depression and other things, and the son
shit.
has a lot of mental issues.
Right, you're
so
right.
I don't really, neither one of us really thought that it warranted a paranormal investigation. We didn't do that. We just felt that it was just all
It was just something. Yeah.
psychological.
Right. Yep.
Now
Those-
is it possible that in that depressed or those conditions that maybe they're pulling something
Could
dark
be,
in, maybe,
yeah.
but it was like, we
Those
just don't
do-
feel like, we just both said, no, not
Yep.
going to do
They
it.
both get confused.
The son
They can
wasn't there.
get
He was not
confused.
there.
How old was he to this?
Like I said, I think it was
Teenager?
probably like teenagers or 20. I think
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, early 20s.
Yep. Yeah, that can get confused with some kind of mental issue.
But
Ghost.
we just didn't feel like it was warranted.
Are
So
they
that-
still around, Sacramento? The organization?
We did investigations, and then all of a sudden, like one day, they stopped calling me. I never called them. I don't know what happened. I don't even know if they still have a website. They're probably still doing investigations.
CIA.
I don't know.
Probably came in and shut that
I
down.
right when I
Doug's-
first started the
Doug's buddies.
podcast, I kind of tried to get people to come
And what
on.
year did you start the podcast?
2 years ago.
Okay, so recent.
2022.
4 years ago, actually.
4 years
Yeah,
ago.
we've got 160 episodes.
Man.
So,
Ancient.
I contacted them by email. There's 3 women that are do paranormal investigations. They're in Auburn, but they never contacted me back. But I
There
said,
is, there's several in Sacramento. At the time when I was looking around, I hooked up with them because they gave several classes through the Learning Exchange 2 years in a row. So they're like, come with us, we're going to investigate the Opera House at Woodland, which is supposed to be haunted. So we did that, and then I joined their team.
Which opera house? The Woodland one?
Yeah.
Okay, not the
Did you
Roseville
find
one?
anything
No.
unusual there?
Because the Roseville.
Well,
was
they
haunted.
showed pictures where they had taken a picture of what looked like a ghost was trying to materialize in one
Right.
of the seats. And every time we go there, they're like, be careful of the staircase. Something likes to push women. I never got that impression. It didn't happen to me, but it happened to other people.
The Roseville Opera House, when
Is
I
it
went
the
there,
same
we
thing?
play, yeah, and they would say, be careful. The stairs are super, tight, and they got a banister, so you literally got to bring all your equipment up a lift, a sky lift, and put it. But they said the same thing. Be careful, there's a ghost in here, and it likes to push women down them stairs.
Well, that's
Oh,
weird.
At the Roseville one.
So we investigated there a number of times with this class and stuff, and nothing creepy ever happened during those investigations. And also, the guy that owned the building, across the street, that he was renovating, we investigated in there, and you go up the stairs. The downstairs is a storefront, and then you go upstairs, and it's dilapidated, and
Right.
we investigated up there, and the only thing we found were dead birds and
Yeah,
stuff.
just
But
normal
nothing
stuff.
weird ever happened there. But it was a really good experience. But when I was looking around at groups, there was one in El Dorado Hills, and I said, well, that's closer to me because these guys like to investigate Sacramento. And to me, I live in Folsom. I don't want to be driving to Sacramento and down the
Right.
road and
Yeah.
stuff, But the one in Cameron Park or El Dorado Hills at the time, I don't remember their name. I don't know if they're still around. But they're like, yeah, you can join us, but you have to take classes with us, and every class is $25. And I'm like, oh, you're doing this just to make money.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if you were truly wanted to bring people in who are interested, you would interview,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, yeah, no,
Plus, really, unless you're going into Placerville or it's a newer area. I mean, I don't know how much
Ghosts.
paranormal
well, there's a lot of
activity.
activity in Placerville. The old Hotel 2's
Yeah.
got. As a matter of fact,
Yeah, that
Jack
makes sense.
Osborne investigated on his show.
Did he?
They were up in him and Katrina
Yeah.
were up in Placerville.
I watched part of that. I didn't watch all of it, but I
Oh, the
started
theater?
watching some
Is
of
that
that.
the
Yeah.
theater there?
I
Or
think
no, the
so.
hotel.
It was a hotel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to own a business. I did a delivery
Did you?
in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
in that place.
Yeah, I owned a bed rental business.
Oh wow.
American Bed Rentals.
Oh.
Shit.
Is that like hospital beds or?
No, it was like rollaway, regular beds. We rent, mattresses and frames.
Okay.
And then we would do short-term rentals, however short you wanted it.
Cheers.
So
Hot chocolate.
Coffee.
and when I rented them a rollaway. But anyway, we rented like linens and nightstands and lamps and
Okay.
things, whatever you need. And there was a big business until 2009 when the downturn came.
Yeah.
And then everybody kind of didn't
Yeah.
really travel.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, it was.
Any scary bed stories?
There really isn't. Not any good bed stories either. You know what I mean?
And fall out of a window and like hit somebody or anything, nothing like that.
No piano
No
falling out of the window, flying on the sidewalk on someone's head.
If I delivered a rollaway to that hotel in Placerville,
That
they're
way.
like, "Yeah, this place is haunted, right?" And I'm like,
Oh.
Really? "Haunted."
I think you hear that about every old hotel. Every old hotel or theater, they're always
Right,
haunted.
every paranormal group on TV has investigated some theater, hotel,
Right.
or
Yep.
asylum.
That has
All kinds
something
of-
with- yeah,
all kinds
some
of
kind of ghost.
bad things.
Well, that's it for like investigations as far as things that have happened. A lot of ESP stuff over the years, knowing when something was going to happen. Unfortunately, I have the gift of knowing death or knowing bad things. Like I know when something bad is going to happen to, and it's not everyone that I know, but there's just certain people that I think psychically I connect
Can you
with,
let me know?
and they're.
If I need to know.
Do you ever tell them, "Hey, you're gonna die"?
No! I don't want to know that. Just like, Matt.
When it comes to death, that's like last minute. Like I'll know a couple minutes before it happens. I'm like, I'm gonna get the phone call, and I know that this person is dead, and
Oh, fuck. And then boom, the phone
and
call.
that's happened since I was little. And the last time that really happened was probably a few years ago. But I don't know a lot of good stuff. But when something bad is gonna happen to certain people, I know. I don't call and I tell them, but I know, and I'm like.
Women's intuition is nothing to be played around with.
No.
I think they all have some kind of intuition, and some women have it way more than others. But yeah, women's intuition, they just know. They just know.
Men just need to admit.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
there
the
are
thing.
some
That
men
we're
that
idiots?
know too.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of women idiots out there too.
It's like,
Not just men, Matt.
Okay, all right.
Idiot.
Mostly men, but okay. I will go give it.
Just pretend like you're here talking with your girlfriend.
You know what? I've got some really great
Stupid we
girlfriends
are.
that I've known for a long time that I'm close with, and I know their husbands.
Right.
But I'm a bit of a tomboy. I like hanging out with the guys.
Right,
I'm glad that you guys.
Right.
For those of you that don't know, when we go to MUFON,
She is
Matt
mean
invited me
Yep.
to sit at the bad boy table
That's
because he
right.
thinks I'm a badass.
She is a badass.
I'm from New York,
That's
so
right.
yes, I am a badass.
Yeah, exactly.
Help.
Watch yourself.
Help me.
Yeah.
So I can tell you.
Doug's been
Doug,
called.
Doug is the quiet one of the group.
Yeah, I can stay a little bit away from the table.
He likes
I
to
don't wanna-
observe and take it in,
Yeah.
and you're just loud
I
and
just
obnoxious.
drink it
He
in
stays
while,
out of kicking distance.
while Bob turns around and
I like to be kicked, so I
Quiet.
guess I stay close.
But you do that very well. He does. He's like,
Yeah.
sorry, Bob.
no, we love Bob.
Yeah. Isn't that her UFO husband or something
He's
like
my
that?
UFO husband, yes.
Wanna
Long
be
story.
careful we don't know who. wants
Yeah,
it.
it's a joke.
So how did
Okay.
you get into UFO stuff? I mean,
Well, ever since I was a little kid, I was always fascinated with anything weird, paranormal,
Same.
occult.
Same.
So UFOs, ghosts,
All
Bigfoot,
together. Yep. Yep.
you name it.
Yep.
You name it, I was into
Occult.
it, and I'm still into it.
do you
And
watch science fiction?
I was into science fiction when I was little. I mean, Star Trek, original Star Trek. I'm all about it, And I got into Battlestar Galactica and
I
Star
love
Wars.
that show.
But now I'm not really into I try to read science fiction.
It's hard,
and
huh?
Now I
Yeah,
can't.
I can't do it either. I did it as a
I
kid.
think it's
I
because
cannot
the
do it
times
over.
have changed, and now science fiction is all over. Like I can't handle superheroes. Not my thing. Like I won't go watch any superhero
So
movies.
You don't
annoyed
like
by
Thor?
Marvel. No.
Well, Thor is okay, but like, Superman,
He's my man love.
Batman,
Yeah.
blah blah.
we know why Thor is okay.
Yeah.
Well, because Thor is hot,
She's all. What about Thor? Thor's okay.
Those Viking dudes are really hot.
Yeah, he's Debbie teases
I'm
me.
a hot-blooded woman. Come on.
Right.
Debbie teases me. He's my man love.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's,
dude.
that's your pass.
That's
you
my
get
pass.
a pass, all right? That's your pass.
You know, everyone's got to have a fantasy person.
Exactly.
I hated it when he cut his hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? I mean,
It's
long
like,
hair.
Yeah, and then he got fat.
Yeah.
He did that episode. He was drinking beer.
You know who's really hot? And of course, this show is already probably, I don't know, 15 years old maybe. Highlander.
Oh yeah.
Highlander. Not with the original guy with like the slitty eyes who played the ape dude. Adrian Paul with the slick dark hair, big beautiful brown eyes. Oh my God! I was like, oh, I love that show.
That's hilarious.
He's got to pull it up now.
Adrian
Paul, Highlander.
Adrian Paul.
So we got to put it up, and we can put it on the screen. And then
Yeah.
the screen over.
Totally
so
hot. Oh, that's him.
65. This dude's 65.
Oh, he is now. Not when he did the show.
He still looks great. 65.
I know he's awesome.
65.
Listen, dude can park his shoes under my bed
any day.
He's not 65 in those.
Those pictures.
Some of those pictures might be old, but you know. Hey, listen,
wow.
Sean Connery was 90 when he passed away, and my entire
That's
life.
the picture you're talking about.
Yes,
right?
because he's got the sword. That's how he kills people and gets power.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But Sean Connery was 90 when he died, and I still thought he was hot. I mean, you know, Dr. No in 1962, I believe, when that came out, he was 32, and I thought he was hot. And
every woman back then loved Sean Connery.
Oh, hell
His
yeah.
voice.
I mean, Roger Moore,
yeah.
doesn't hold a candle to him. But,
Yeah.
Oh my God, Sean Connery.
Yeah, I don't think Roger
All right,
Moore
this has
ever
nothing to do with the paranormal.
That's
I'm not
okay.
going to get into this stuff.
It's weird.
This is
How about
what
that?
happens.
It's
with
yeah.
this show.
Oh, we were talking about science fiction.
Yeah, I've kind of fell out of science fiction as well.
So you didn't watch the new Alien movie? Did you watch the original Alien? Did you see?
Yeah, I'm not so much into like monsters that kill people.
Yeah.
You know, like original Star Trek, that kind when it was, you know, innocent and scary, but not bloody, gory kind of
Battlestar
thing.
Galactica.
Yeah,
You remember
Space
the show
1999.
V?
Yes.
Oh, Space
I
1999.
love that. You remember V?
Yeah.
With Diane and
It's
they were
our
kind of
current
like
government.
Yeah, they were all that was kind of the lizard, reptilian kind of start. That's what I loved about that show. Was like, oh shit,
that was badass.
Yeah,
yes, I like Space 1999 too.
Yes, that one too. Yep.
It doesn't. If you try to watch it today, though, it doesn't hold up.
It's
well,
hilarious.
if you look back at original Star Trek, remember the episode, a lot of episodes. With the Gorn arena, the Gorn is the golf ball. Like, you know, Kirk is like picking up a rock and it's like, huh, and you're like, oh my God, it's styrofoam. You can tell now, but back then, like, but back then it was awesome, you know.
He made an album. We're gonna just talk about some weird shit. Yes, so him and Leonard Nimoy both made albums in like the '60s.
They were singing.
Yes. Oh my God, I remember me and my buddy discovered that.
I'm sorry. Acting, yes. Singing, I don't think so.
Oh, it was so bad you had to like it. It was just that horrible.
Well, they were just so much of icons at the time.
They could do anything.
Well, listen, I gotta tell you, I remember I was 13, 14 when original Star Trek had its 10th anniversary. There was a big Star Trek convention in New York City.
You went.
I went with my friend, her brother, who's a year younger than us, and her dad took us.
You guys dress up?
No, we didn't dress up. We were, freshmen in high school at the time, maybe?
You're like, I'm too cool, but I'm gonna go.
Or maybe I was 8th grade, I don't remember, but something like that.
Those nerds went crazy with these guys.
Yeah, right.
But I remember I went, and all of the original cast was there, plus they had Isaac Asimov.
Oh, shit.
And,
he was the first science fiction
writer
that I read.
Yeah. And some other famous people, I can't even remember, but
invented the word computer.
They were all there, and I got to meet all of them. You know, when you're 13 years old, you're like, oh my God, it's Captain Kirk.
Yeah, everybody.
And I remember my friends were in this one area, and I said, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. So I was going to the bathroom, and it was in the hallway somewhere in the hotel. It was a convention center. And I remember I'm coming back from the bathroom. Who comes walking towards me but Walter Koenig, who's played Chekhov.
Oh, wow.
And he's got 2 security guys next to him. And he smiled at me, and I was like,
oh my God. Oh my God.
And he smiled, and he said hello, and I'm like, and I couldn't say anything. I was just so awestruck. And I'm like, what an idiot!
They must laugh.
I'm an idiot.
This happens to them all the time. But they laugh.
He's off. Watch this.
Well, and you know what? I probably looked like I was 10 because I was always short. So he probably thought I was like a little kid. And he was like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, ah! I couldn't say anything. I was just off. But I got to meet all of them, which I thought was very cool. And Nichelle Nichols was beautiful at the time, you know, Uhura.
Right. Yep.
Oh,
And they were all very nice. And it was awesome. I also got to meet, Isaac Asimov and the
that's
other
awesome.
people that were there.
Yeah.
And,
He was one of the first. Him and Robert Hyland,
Yeah.
another
Highland.
Some. I
and
can't
now
remember
you
his name.
met
Richard,
Bill
no?
Shatner
Yeah, I
because you
met
got
Bill
the
Shatner.
picture on
Yeah.
the wall, and that's recent. How many years ago was that?
It's 2 years.
2 years ago.
Yeah, I met him in
I would
Dallas.
like to meet him and say, I met you when I was 13 years old in New York City.
And you won't even
You
remember.
get a big smile
probably.
from Shatner, I'm sure.
Probably.
Yeah, right. He
Yeah, he
went to
says,
space
I saw,
recently.
you're not supposed to touch him.
Oh,
and
really?
you're not supposed to. They said you can't touch him, and they don't really want you to talk to him. They just get in
Really?
there and take. Yeah, there's a line.
Can you
with
just
it.
talk at him?
No, you
No.
can.
Well, there's a line,
There's a
so they have
line.
to keep
you
it moving.
Pay. I mean, you
Oh.
obviously. we
Did you
pay
at
for
least
that.
get to say, hey, Mr. Shatner was my
I
pleasure
saw.
to
What did
meet
I
you."
do? I put my hand on his back when we took the picture.
You touched him.
Yeah. I got,
You violated.
You
I
got
violated
balls.
the rule. Because
got
I am
some
not a
balls.
rule. When you're talking about you're a rule follower, I hate rules.
Yeah. He's
I hate
a
rules.
rebel.
Something like that. It's
She-
like, okay.
She's more of a rebel than I think she does
Yeah.
have to be.
So I said, hey, I don't know if you've ever seen the show with him, and got a couple other guys. The guy that did the
Boston Legal?
no,
Boston
it's Better Late Than Never, and he used to go around. Yeah, I bet you guys have never seen it.
I've
I
never
don't
seen
know.
it.
It lasted like a season or two. It didn't last very long.
Better late than
Yeah,
never.
yeah, Terry Bradshaw.
What?
It had,
Oh my God, Terry
I
Bradshaw's
would have
hysterical.
watched that.
Yeah, Terry Bradshaw.
Look it up, look it
Yeah.
and
It's like, you know,
the guy George Foreman,
Really?
and then they had a handler, a kid, which they'd always dog and do bad things to.
Yep, he's right.
Better late than never. So
Wow.
when I saw Shatner, I said, "Hey, I loved you in Better Late Than Never." And he just turns to me, that Shatner voice. Well, thank you.
Right? I mean, I could see him doing that too.
Henry Winkler?
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
It's
Fonz.
check it out though. It's pretty fun.
Is it like Netflix or something
Bro,
like
you're
that?
It's
Right,
on
right.
Hulu. You can watch it on Hulu.
Which I don't have, but eventually we'll be able to see
I
all
might
this
have it. I'll
stuff.
give you my password. I mean, I would never do that.
Oh, careful. What is it?
Never.
Dun dun dun.
What's the password, man?
Huh?
What's
I
that?
don't know what he's talking
Nobody's
about.
watching.
Stop.
Hey Max, show everyone your glasses.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
you got the
thank
Yeah,
you.
we got to
Check out Max glasses.
I got these off of Temu, so they're probably going to kill me tomorrow. So,
It's that green. You know what they
Yes.
say about that green, like the green tableware?
oh shit, no.
It's
what?
like,
Death?
yeah, it's radioactive.
Oh, great. Yeah, now my eyes are.
You got it
eyes are
from
peeling
Temu?
over.
Well, we are talking
Yes.
about UFOs
For
and
$4.
radioactive.
Yeah, feel how heavy they are.
Nobody's ever going to punch you in the eye.
Never.
They are heavy.
Put them on. Come on. Let's see.
Yeah,
I
this.
mean, they're
see
not.
I wanna
Yeah,
see.
those could hurt.
Put them on. Let's
I
see.
want a picture with Alysse on the.
Yeah, at least.
Yes, that is a great picture.
Dude.
Here. You got
Oh wait,
something
over
to
here. Oh wait, not me.
Peace.
Oh, it's a little dark. There we go. Right there. Okay, I'll send that to you.
Next MUFON meeting, there's a picture of me
Yeah,
circulating.
Yeah, that's a poster. I'm selling posters, everybody. She gets part of the money.
So no scary science fiction. I just saw the latest Alien movie.
Oh, was it? How was it?
It's a lot of reference to the first two, since you don't watch them. It's a.
Could you follow the story if you didn't watch the original?
Yeah, I mean, I knew what was said,
But they talk
there's
about
certain
They made
things-
hints.
There's certain things that are in it that you figure out because you've seen it.
Right.
But
She's not in it, right? Sigourney Weaver.
no, hell no. No, they got it's a younger group of
Ah,
people
okay.
that are.
I don't know any of the
Those
new
are
actors.
I'm kind of set in my ways. It's hard for me to get into.
To picture a new person
Yeah.
in the same role.
Star Wars kind of did that. A few of them I liked. A few of them I hated.
Well, they butchered it pretty good.
Did they?
It's the usual alien stuff. Where
Would
it's
you
like-
recommend it or no?
Not really.
You heard it here first.
Doug the
No.
critic.
Yeah, you heard it here.
Debbie took me to see it.
Oh, you went to
Debbie-
the movie theaters.
Oh, Debbie
shit.
will. Yeah, Debbie will watch.
Drag you
it.
there.
I
Yeah.
do like going to theaters. I saw the movie called Long Legs with it's just he plays a serial killer. What's his name? Oh shit.
You always sit with a group of
What was he in?
older people, and we have to remember names, and
God,
we'd have to take notes.
Where the hell am I right now? That's all.
Where
there.
am I?
Long Legs has.
Long Legs?
Yeah, it's 20. It came out this year. It's got. Oh, what's that dude's name?
What's it about?
It's about a serial killer, FBI agent.
True story or no, just a made up?
No, it's made up, and it's got a very famous actor in it. Nicolas Cage is in it.
Oh, Nicolas
Oh,
Cage.
wow.
And he dresses like a woman in it.
Oh, very nice.
And Alicia Witt's in it.
In drag.
And he's like a horrible drag. He's not even cute.
Not a good drag, huh?
Just a bad drag. And he's just psycho.
Bad drag.
Is he like the bad guy in the movie?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
And he mentions the word Satan 17 times in the movie.
You counted it?
I counted it because he kept saying it. So after I turned to my kid, I go, how many times has he said that? He goes, 4. I go, keep count. So we watched it and he said it 14 times he said it. And I'm like, what? It was just a weird movie. We wish I never would have went and seen it.
You wish you'd never seen it?
No.
So definitely
thumbs down.
0
So we got
stars.
2 thumbs down,
Yeah.
long legs and
Alien, whatever.
What's your movie?
I
Resurrected
haven't
or
been
whatever.
to a movie in a long time.
Oh, we gotta fix that.
Are you dating?
No.
That's why you're not going to the movie.
Oh wow!
I'm like, wait, my personal life is now going to be broadcast.
Yeah. There's nothing safe here.
You can go as friends, so we're gonna take you to a movie.
No, really,
Yeah,
I
right.
can't remember. Last time I went
Anything
to
you
the
wanna go
movie was
see,
2 years ago, I think. I went with some of my friends from choir, and we saw the Downton Abbey movie.
Oh,
And I cried at the end because the matriarch dies.
That
Downton
sounds
Abbey. Remember the TV show?
Wait a minute,
He
you're
has
in a
no
choir?
clue.
Are you still in a choir?
Yeah, I'm still in the choir.
Did you
Yeah,
not?
she did. Yeah, she told me that like a few days ago, and I'm still
I
processing.
told you that before, a long
I
time
know
ago.
you did.
Do you
Yeah,
go
I
to
did.
church? You go to church?
I don't
Why
go to
don't
church.
we invite?
We practice at the church, but we're not the church choir.
Wait. So who do you sing for?
Chanteuse?
What's that?
Go to chanteuse.org. There you go. A little plug.
I spell that.
Chanteuse like a singer. Okay.
Oh, okay.
C-H-A-N-T-E.
You have to remember who you're sitting next
Right.
to.
I've been singing this choir.
SHAWN.
No, C-H.
Oh, Sean.
Not
Like
Sean.
CH.
A-N-T-E-U-S-E-S. Looks like Chanteuses, but it's pronounced Chanteuse.
Yes. Sacramento. Oh, it is.
Chanteuse.org.
Okay. There it is.
I've been singing with choirs my whole life.
Really?
And I've been with them now. This is my 10th year. It's an audition
That's
all-female
awesome.
choir.
I never knew that.
That's awesome.
Well, I'll invite you guys to the concert.
Yes.
We do, traditional classical choir music. Like, I'm excited right now because we're doing Vivaldi's Gloria.
My phone is not like Chanteuse.
I'll bring it up on my phone for you.
All right. Yeah, it won't go to it.
That is cool.
Yeah. I have a lot of interest. Besides the paranormal thing, I take photography classes, which I've been doing for a long time. I sing. I've been doing that for a long time. I do Zumba. I go to the gym. Obviously, you guys already know that I work out. I run.
So any available bachelors out there,
Oh, wow.
feel free to
Oh, great. Thanks.
feel free to
Oh, no.
It's gonna be stalkers now.
send me
dog.
an email.
Right.
Send me an email with your bio to alienpropodcast@gmail.com, and I'll
Yeah, we're
make
gonna
sure
check
we-
you out
Oh my
first. So
God.
We're gonna have
we're
to.
gonna roll through.
Yeah, we're gonna have
And
to.
make sure what.
We're
I'm
gonna
in
do a
trouble
background
now.
check.
So
though,
when did
first.
this become a dating site?
I have to evolve.
Because I'm almost there. So.
You're almost there.
Yeah, I mean,
That's right. He's almost single, ladies. And he's a heavy metal rock and roll guitar playing dude.
UFO fan.
I'm a horrible husband. Just know that right off the bat. I'm a horrible
I
husband.
heard that about you.
I'm a great friend, but I'm a horrible husband. So not the
Great
right
musician, though. I haven't
Thank
seen
you.
you, but
Yeah,
I've
great
heard.
Thank you.
musician.
Thank you.
You haven't seen it?
We're trying, I'm
Because
trying.
I'm not like a heavy
I'm
metal.
trying to drag her to something that we're doing acoustic shows.
Well, maybe I'll
Would you do
come.
that?
I don't know if I could handle heavy metal like for 2 hours.
No,
but
we
just a
don't.
little
Just
bit.
acoustic.
I'll do acoustic, yeah.
So we're playing an acoustic show tomorrow, actually, at you're probably busy. Sunday at what's the place
Is it
up
local?
on Orangevale?
Oh,
Boardwalk.
Boardwalk.
Yeah,
Oh my
Boardwalk.
God, I'll come. That's
Really?
right. That's literally 2 miles from my house.
Okay, I'll tell. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Tomorrow. Yeah, I think it starts at 1, but I don't. I think we start at like 3 or 4 or whatever. I'll send you all the information.
Oh, great. Cool.
And Boardwalk tomorrow. Well, acoustic.
Well,
so
this
you
isn't
know.
gonna air
Veronica
right away.
Lucia.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure we get the plug in there.
He's held hostage. He just isn't telling you, but we're holding him hostage.
Well, I went to not the last one, but I went to
Yes, actually, yeah.
Goldfield.
Mhm.
And
Was that the one in Roseville like last month?
That was good.
Yes.
That was a good one.
Did Bob
good.
didn't go to that one, right?
No,
David did.
He
though.
bought the ticket.
I think his wife got sick or something, right?
David,
she had been
David's
ill.
wife
David
was ill.
and David and Jess came.
And I drank way too much.
Yeah, Doug was.
Well, that happens. You go out, you see your friends.
He's
you have a good
awesome
time.
drunk though. Doug was awesome. I got like 16 hugs from him that night.
Yeah, I
You
know.
guys even remember?
He's very cuddly.
Yeah.
Did Deb go with you to the show?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
She had to. She
Dad had to go after
she had
the.
to
She had to watch him. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we Ubered.
Yeah, somebody has to watch him now.
He was okay till the next band.
Oh,
He loved you guys.
Yes, the next
The
band.
next band, there was two twin brothers.
I'm
Did
gonna
they
say
suck?
nothing. I'm gonna say nothing because they might be watching.
And, yeah, we don't want to mention that.
Sorry, no.
And we're trying to do a selfie, and these guys are still on, so we're right by Matt, and we're taking a picture right. And then of course, old people have trouble with technology sometimes. And so one of the singers for the band
He
after
meant that
that,
as a joke.
he goes, "Hey, you want me to get your picture?" So he grabbed the camera and he got Deb and I picture with Matt while he was on stage. It was badass.
Yeah, show me a picture.
I don't think you would be scared of our music, but you would have been scared of the music he's talking about.
So when they
Is
get
it like
on,
angry?
Yes.
Angry
yeah, that
music?
screaming.
We're not
like,
gonna-
No.
We're
I
not-
can't
but
do
we
that.
have- vocal she
screaming
sings.
like you can't understand what they're saying.
You'll see tomorrow. I'll introduce you.
Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just
There's
like,
probably cursing in there. You can't
probably,
understand
but
what
I
they
couldn't
say.
understand it.
You sent that to me, right? Let me see
Um,
for it. No, I didn't. I gotta see if I kept it. I'm pretty sure I kept it.
Well, you don't have to show it to me
We'll
right
show-
now.
All right,
forward
I'll
to
show
it.
you to you
I'll
later.
forward to it. But
Let's
it
get
was cool.
back-
It was really good. I just want to say Veronica Lucille is good. Lucia is good, but that other band, and we don't stay till the bitter end. How late did they stay? How late?
I stayed. We left early too. We didn't leave.
Because you
till-
guys went
We
on
played
first.
first.
Right?
Yeah, we were supposed to play second. We played first, and I think I left at like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we went.
If I don't have to stay, I don't stay. But not most of the time. You got to stay and support.
Yeah.
You know?
Support the other musicians.
Yeah, and we don't do it for money because we don't really make money. I do it
Yeah,
for
we
fun.
saw him at the Y. down
It's
there
exposure.
On Fulton.
Exactly.
On Fulton, we saw him down there with Killed by a Dolphin.
Yeah, you liked Killed by a Dolphin.
Love
right?
Killed by a dolphin?
Yeah, that's the name of the band. Yeah.
Okay.
They're less
They were
crazy too. I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They were awesome. Just a great bunch of people.
Yeah, they're super
Because
nice.
Deb and I never go to these things.
Right.
And it was just, I'm like, it's good to get out and do
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah, it's something different.
Yeah.
I'm not Alysse where I got 50 different things.
I know.
I do have 50 different
Yes,
things going on.
exactly. And you put like a whistling noise in the background. Cat call.
Yeah.
Are we ready to start?
We're going to start with Alysse modeling because
Yeah, see,
Oh,
that's
no.
it.
you're not going to do it now?
Do you want me
the
to model?
camera was on earlier. You just didn't know.
Here, they wanted me
Here
to
it
model. Hello.
Yeah, see?
I feel
This
like
will
we
be
should
the
be
hottest one.
playing music during this. Dun, 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 dun.
Is that what we were talking about? Your dating one? What were we talking about?
We
when
kind of
left?
Bow,
went.
chicka, bow,
Yeah,
bow.
All right, what were we talking about?
Anyway, we'll go into Apollo 20. You guys are here
I
about
have
this?
not read that.
No.
I
have seen that documentary by Darcy
Apollo 20.
something talking about the Apollo missions.
Yeah, that there's the dark side of the moon. I mean, we're not going to get into it too extensively, but I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. That there
I have
was,
not.
After Apollo 17, that we sent up other Apollo missions to investigate the dark side of the moon. There's a ship back there. It's an crashed alien ship that's been there,
Really?
whatever, thousands of years.
I've heard that because they said that when we went to the moon for the first time, that when the astronauts came back, instead of looking joyous, they were all looking
Sad and
sad
yeah,
and like
exactly.
upset, and they were
Yep.
saying that they saw something
Yep.
on the
And they
moon.
were
Yeah.
told to shut
But I
up.
don't think that
did
they
that.
went to the dark side.
No, they
But
saw
they
that on
saw-
the side.
Didn't they go around it? Is that what it was?
Yeah, but what they saw were alien craft, and I don't know if they saw
right.
an entity or not, but I think they saw alien ships there, and they were told, of course, not to discuss it.
Of course.
So, so it kind of talks about. It's got some pictures. It's got pictures of the alien ship in there. It's, but they said they went
Did
back.
they take? Wait, were these actual pictures that the astronauts took, or is this like a rendering, an artist
I think
rendering?
The astronauts took the pictures.
Crater visible in the pictures almost.
It's like a giant cylindrical ship. So I don't know if it's, who knows if it's real or whatever, but allegedly the thing's miles long. It's a giant ship.
The
Frame.
mothership.
Yeah, the mothership, probably, something like that. But, I mean,
Wow.
it just kind of leads into the fact that, the moon.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's the one. The moon is,
Well, people can see that on the.
have you heard the stories about the moon where it isn't actually?
Where it's hollow.
Ding!
It rang like a bell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there's a theory that it was
Placed there.
It was placed. It was a
By the
dying
aliens.
civilization, and that came in the moon, and then it was drugged here, and then they came out, and well, maybe they're the Anunnaki or whatever. But
There is all kinds of theories about who they are.
where do you obviously you follow the UFO phenomenon. Where do you think they come from? What is it? Interdimensional? Do you think they've just been here for millions of years?
Is there more than one?
I think they've been here for a long time. As to where they come from, I have no idea. You have all kinds of people who say that they're contactees, and some say they're from Venus and Mars. Some say they're from Andromeda Galaxy, or some are from that galaxy. Who knows? But the way I see it, and this is something that my 5th grade teacher said, and I've never forgot. He said, and he totally believed in UFOs. He said, our Earth is just a speck in our galaxy, and our galaxy is just a speck in our universe.
Yep.
And now we know from astronomers, because we've got all of this, look how far technology has come in 500 years, 100 years, 20 years. We now know that there's trillions of other suns, galaxies, planets, moons. So how can we be so naive to think that we're the only form of life or the first form of life?
That's right.
Our sun is about middle age, so we know that there's other suns older than us and younger than us.
Yep.
There's got to be other life forms on other planets. Now, do they look like us? Do there have to be other planets that are just like Earth to have life forms, or could be a little bit different? Do they breathe oxygen? As to where they come from, there's got to be lots of life forms out there, probably from all over the place. But I do believe a lot of it there's also interdimensional.
Have you heard of the extraterrestrial theory?
Vaguely, but I don't know too much about
That's
it.
the one where it's us from the future.
Oh yes, I've heard about that one too.
There's a book by Michael P. Masters that
He's
he
got 2
wrote.
of them.
Yeah, I have the book. If you guys ever want to borrow it.
Yeah.
So do you think
I
that
got the
they're
second
coming
one.
back to fix
It's
problems?
I don't know what they're doing, but
That's been said.
it's one of my favorite theories because they're bipedal, and Bill and I, my previous co-host,
Love Bill.
we've talked about this a lot. He hated that theory. Bill is like, no. You know?
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't Bill's favorite theory. But
Well, if we're so advanced in the future, I mean, look at what happens from the time that we were little to now. I mean, technology has just exploded.
When did it start to explode?
Well, after the aliens, after Roswell,
Yeah,
and we got all these
47,
discoveries and
yeah.
everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, really started picking up in the 30s.
If
and
we're
it was
gonna
even,
If we're going to
crashes
keep
there.
evolving this fast, I mean,
Super fast.
5,000 years from
Yeah.
now, like, where the hell are we going to
And
be?
what are we going to look like? I mean,
Exactly.
you have to
Go 100 years back.
you have to remember.
1924 versus 2024. What we were doing in 1924,
Look how long we've had cars. And
Right.
look at how cars have.
The Industrial Revolution in the 1800s.
Yeah. So
The
it
microchip.
wasn't that. It's a blip. in
My
this
my
world.
family came over. They immigrated here. Well, my grandfather came, I think, 1930s. He might have even gotten here as early as
The first
1920
badass.
something.
He was the first badass.
Right,
First
but
badass.
they all came over on ships, right? Because this
Yep.
was before,
Yep. Planes.
transatlantic.
And, yeah.
I mean, they had airplanes like for the war, but not. They weren't just taking people on, trips across the Atlantic for the hell of it.
I mean, if you believe in the theory of evolution, I don't know if are you religious?
I believe in the theory of evolution. I'm more spiritual than religious. I mean, I don't believe that God just said, I'm a God
Adam
and
and
I'm
Eve,
creating
there,
Earth. I believe in
I agree.
But I also believe if the aliens are here and they're screwing with us, sure, they've manipulated our DNA. I do believe in that. Because I think there's too many missing links.
Right. It wasn't there scientifically proven that something happened to our DNA.
Yes.
Well, there was a certain time. There was a certain point in time.
It jumped.
Yeah. So then it moved from being more.
Less monkey-like and more like
Neanderthal.
Yeah.
More caveman.
Yep.
And there's
Meat.
some people,
Meat.
if you look at them, you can tell
Like
that
a
they
beef
got
jerky
the Neanderthal in them still.
Right.
Oh, have you guys ever done like Ancestry?
Oh, yeah.
Because
I
I'm
have.
looking at it, it's like, you've got 26% more DNA than your relatives. I'm like, really?
I know. I don't have very much Neanderthal DNA.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, not
I'm
too
more
much DNA.
reptilian, I think is what it is.
More reptilian.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with the extra,
If your eyes start having slits,
Yeah,
in
they
them,
start doing this, and you're like, fuck away from me. Step back.
well, you look to see how we've evolved over the years.
Yeah.
And what are we gonna look like in 100,000 years?
Big
Well,
heads, giant
actually,
eyes.
They actually
more
say
space.
we're probably going to do more telepathy, which means we won't need to speak as much.
Right.
Vocalizations are going to change.
Yes.
The eyes will
We're
get bigger.
spacefaring.
Michael,
The heads.
he pretty gets. If you ever read the book, it's really scientific. That's the problem.
It's
I
too
got
much
through
of a
it.
textbook.
I
That's
got
why.
about halfway through it, and I'm like, okay, I gotta put it down. It
Like
hurt
for
my
the
brain,
layman,
you
is a
know.
little too
Yeah,
much.
he's some kind of archaeologist, like ancient archaeologist or something.
Yeah, he's not just a...
Yeah, that dude's really good, and he explains it so well that it hurts my head because I don't know a lot of that.
And you notice the grays are always kind of like more or less the same color.
Yes.
Did you guys ever see the South Park episode about...
Going
Did you watch
down
South Park?
South Park.
Where the one where they went... The people that came back from the future and
Yeah.
they came out of the spaceship and they
That's
were
kinda
all
cool you knew that.
they were all beige, the same color, because in evolution,
Right,
you
they
know,
never
everybody's
changed.
mixing together,
Same
Right,
color.
right.
All bad.
and then
There's no distinction.
you know, so now they're exactly the same color.
Right. All the grays are gray.
They all
You
look
know,
the same.
You're just gray.
There's no darker gray or lighter gray. Huh?
Yeah, you're just gray.
I don't like him. He's darker gray. He's lighter gray. He's no good.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's a
Kenny
light
got
gray.
killed.
Yeah.
He's a
Oh my
light
God,
grayer.
kill Kitty. I love that show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good, but that's what I picture in the future that we've evolved to. That's why it's my.
We're not
picture.
going to be pretty anymore.
I know. We're gonna have big
Right.
ass eyes
Well,
and
they
yeah.
think they're pretty. Well, will they even
Do they?
care? No, they will.
Feel like that doesn't matter.
Well, what are your thoughts that a lot of people say that grays are actually robots because they don't have
Yes,
emotions?
I've heard that. Just shells. They're basically what is it? Not
Well,
icons, but
there's a higher
Avatars.
Pleiadian. They're like servants of the Pleiadians or whatever.
almost
Yeah.
AI-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they do the bidding of the ones that look more like us.
Well, it makes sense because they also talk about, you've got the skeptics that say, oh, you can't travel through space at those speeds and, spaceships can't do this. I mean,
Under
that
our
would
physics.
kill us.
Right,
So it
that's
would make
our
sense
physics.
that there's robotic entities.
Yep.
But
they
then
can.
if there's civilizations that are more advanced than us, which I believe that there is, again, back to there's tons of planets
Yep.
out there, they probably have advanced physics that we haven't discovered yet.
That's right.
I mean, if you go back 200 years, I mean, look at how science has come so far in that time. Can you imagine what's going to be like
That's right.
500 years from now?
Also, physics in a different part of the universe might be different than the physics we have on
Yeah.
Earth. With everything that surrounds us and all the planets and how
Gravity
everything is
and
right.
motion
So
and
our
everything.
physics here is going to be completely different than, say, somebody 1,000 light years away in a different type of environment.
Never thought
Most
about that.
likely, they're not going to have 2 arms, 2 legs, a torso, a head. They're going to be shaped the way they should be and the way the environment they were built.
So that's if maybe they
So-
don't breathe oxygen, they breathe some other
Right.
kind of whatever.
But
that's
that's-
true. How are they going to look?
That goes back to the Michael P. Masters thing where why would these grays have arms, legs,
Bipedal.
torso,
No,
bipedal?
bipedal.
Why are they standing up? That would mean they have some distantly close relative to us. Than like
Or
a
maybe-
rhinoceros.
Or
something
maybe
like that.
this is just this standard form across the universe.
It could be.
We don't know.
That's true.
Well,
That
it's-
is very true.
Yeah, but
I mean, if you
Right.
look at, like, for example, all the life we have on this planet, if you go deep in the oceans, they found, fish and stuff that are blind.
Yep.
They
they're
live like
right.
so far
They don't need
down
eyes.
because there's no light.
Yep.
Look at the octopus. I mean, I love to watch those National Geographic photos.
3
because
brains,
I think,
and they're like an alien.
they might be from another planet.
well, that's
Right.
what scientists are saying. They're saying octopus are so different from anything
They
else
should
on the
never- they
planet
shouldn't even be
that a
here.
lot of scientists are saying they've got to be from somewhere
Yep.
else. They could
Yep.
not have evolved
They
here.
shouldn't even be here. Right.
So how did they
Yeah.
get into our ocean?
Right. Right.
Yeah, what did the octopus evolve from? Where did it start? Yeah, I don't know.
My
Well, when it rains, that's stuff coming from the atmosphere. I mean,
Well, they
who
have that
knows what's coming in? What kind of
panspermia
bacteria,
Right.
viruses,
Right. Whatever it brings it in. Yeah.
meteorites
COVID.
that crash, they could be bringing all kinds of.
Well, that's what's that
Coronavirus?
guy's name?
No, just kidding.
Avi Loeb
COVID.
talks about things coming in through, and they're from somewhere else. So it's changed a lot of the way our physical makeup is.
Is the big secret with the extraterrestrials that we checked their DNA and we found out that they're really us?
Yeah.
Right.
Is that the big secret? Is that why we can't see them? Is that why?
Is that
You know.
why they're taking sperm and eggs supposedly
Yeah,
from
what
all
are they
these
doing?
abductees?
Right.
And are they
And
coming
make
back? Did something bad happen?
And they need
They're
us.
trying to prevent us, save us from ourselves with the nuclear.
Or
threat.
they're coming back with something they've lost. Some kind of something in
like
their
the
DNA.
Anunnaki
Yes.
mined for gold.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something else more, and maybe it's not just one thing. Maybe it's a many different things.
Did you see Cowboys and Aliens?
I love that show.
That's a
that
great movie.
I love that movie.
Is Harrison Ford in that?
No,
Who is
Craig. What's his
Christian
name?
Craig? No. What's his name?
Craig Chiquito. Oh, that's
No.
the guy from Star Trek.
Craig, the James Bond guy. He was
Yeah.
the one that starred in it.
Yeah. It's that guy.
I've never
Yeah, that
seen
guy.
it. Aliens. I'm trying to think of the
Cowboys
Craig
and
guy.
Aliens.
I've never seen that.
What's
Oh,
his name?
you gotta see
The
it.
James Bond dude, Craig. His last name is Craig.
He's
I'm like,
All right.
Blind.
On that note,
he's ending. I'm like, is he looking like that? Or is he
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
I remember I wanted my dad to see it, and he was like, "Oh, Cowboys and Aliens, that sounds crazy." I'm like, "Dad, you like Cowboys and Indians? It's not the same, but you'll like it." And he was like, "Yeah, no, he wasn't
He
interested."
wouldn't watch that.
I think if I got him to see it like on TV once it came out, he'd be
probably
like, "Oh yeah, this is
bad.
kind of cool."
Yeah.
My mother, on the other hand, like she wouldn't understand any
Oh, she
of
wouldn't watch
this.
any of it?
No. She used to like my dad and I would watch Star Trek when I was little, and she would like, "You guys are mental." She's like, "Oh my god, oh those creatures, they're so ugly." I'm like, "Mom, it's just a show."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's like she couldn't get into it.
well, on that note,
She still thinks I'm a little mental, 'cause I'm into all of this.
we're all. That's why we got us in
We're
this
all
room.
weird.
The
Yeah.
other people think we're crazy.
That's right. Yeah.
Let them think we're crazy. Hey, let them get in because they're losers.
Hey, mental. Mental. We're mental. That's all right.
All right. Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Alien Pro
Bye, everyone.
Podcast. Thank you. We welcome comments, questions, or requests to alienprobepodcast@gmail.com. Visit us on Facebook. Check out our website, alienprobe.net, Twitter and Instagram, and Alien Probe Pod. YouTube and Rumble at Alien Probe Podcast, preferably Rumble.
Peace.
That way we won't get a banner for talking about COVID. Thanks, Alysse. Thanks, Alysse, again for joining us.
Good to be here.
It
Thank
was
you.
an
Badass.
awesome episode.
Always badass.
And
Thank
Matt,
you.
if I forget Matt, I'm gonna get.
No, you probably
Matt's
are.
your sidekick.
I laugh too loud. You can forget me.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Good job.
Woo!
Way to
That was
go.
fun.
Yeah, if you guys have Sam back, I'd like to be here when he's here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that Sam, he thinks that, Stephen Greer is a god, and I'm like, ugh.